Yeah, sorry, stream crashed. I think I'm recording now. I gotta get the video up. Oops. Because it's not working. There it is. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, stream crashed. I just suddenly lost connection. Okay, so, I don't think I brought this one on camera, but Kamimura, Ken, Hiroki are all gay, and Watari and Tomboy are lesbians. Okay. Learn new shit every day. Alright, here we go.
Kamimura's room key. They took it upstairs, dropped off in the auditorium. The killer pickpocketed Kamimura's room key. They took it upstairs to the computer lab, modeled it on one of the computers, and printed it on the 3D printer, which they had fixed. While that's printing, they go to the chem lab and steal the bottle of Rohypnol. That night, they lace the food he had left in the fridge, leave his key there for him to find, and keep the blue key for themselves. At breakfast, Kamimura eats the poison, finds his key, heads back to his room, and passes out. The killer shows up, breaks into his room with the blue key, kidnaps him, brings him upstairs, ties him up, and kills him. Done.
Wait, but hold on. I have a question.
Please tell me you were listening.
I was, but if they were doing all that, when did they set the door trap?
Oh, yeah.
What?
The door trap. The one that killed Manami. When did they set it?
Well, actually, first I think we need to figure... Oh. Okay. Nope, I missed everything I was going to say because I checked the comments.
What?
The door trap. The one that killed Manami. When did they set it?
Thank you. Can we please talk about Suno?
Suno died after Kamimura. If we solve his murder, we live.
But what if Suno's murder is attached to it, too?
If we solve her murder, we get nothing.
Can we solve both at the same time? Because she's most likely killed by the same person that killed Kamimura.
Prioritize.
What? Are you serious? She died. You're telling me to just get over it? Someone killed her.
We need to talk about Suno.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, Wada. Tell us what happened.
Right, we were on our way to investigate the woodshop, and when Suno opened the door, this big plate swung down with these wooden spikes on it, and it killed her.
It was a big square wooden plate with a couple wooden stakes on it. Caught her right in the stomach. The door opens outwards, so it swung down from the inside and got her as soon as she opened it.
It was definitely made using the supplies in the woodshop. I'm certain of that. There's nowhere else in the school to find those materials. The woodshop contains quite a few of those large wooden plates, as well as a few smaller pieces of wood that could quite easily be made into the stakes that were fixed to the plate. Not to mention, the trap was rigged above the woodshop door to be made into the stakes that were in the plates, as well as a few smaller pieces of wood that could quite easily be made into the...
Hold on. I'm sorry. I keep missing it. Let me just read it.
stakes that were fixed to the plate. Not to mention, the trap was rigged above the woodshop door. It would have been exceedingly simple for them to build it in the woodshop and rig it right there. Otherwise, they would have had to carry it around, and it wasn't exactly light.
So then, when did they make it?
I mean, Kazutoshi and I were in the woodshop 2 nights ago, and it definitely wasn't there then. I'm sure we would have noticed.
Not even under a tarp or something? It wasn't under construction?
No, not above the door, not under a tarp, not anywhere. It wasn't there.
Hey, wait a minute! Why were you in the woodshop 2 nights ago? It was supposed to be closed off!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it matters! When we set rules as a group, you should follow them!
Shut up, Tamba.
What? Fine, jeez.
If it wasn't there when you guys were there, that means it had to be set up yesterday. If it wasn't even under construction yet, they had to have made it during the day and rigged it up at night. That's the only way the timeline works out.
Perfect! Then it's time for my favorite part. We need to start attacking alibis.
What?
If the killer was building the plate yesterday, they wouldn't have an alibi for that time. So we just need to find out who doesn't have an alibi from then to Kamimura's death. And we've got our killer.
But Kamimura's killer and Tsuno's killer might be 2 entirely different people. We don't know.
If that's the case, Tsuno's death doesn't matter, and we can just focus on Kamimura. Why are we talking about Tsuno at all? if the killers are two different people.
Why are you always like this? Every time you show a shred of decency, you back it up by being unreasonably cruel.
For fuck's sake, I'm not being cruel! I'm not being cruel, I'm not being heartless, and I'm not being cold, I'm not being any of this shit. I'm the only one who's actually thinking with any sort of logic here. I don't hate Suno. I'm not being cruel. I just want us to make it out of this alive. If the killers are the same person, we need to talk about Suno. And if they're not, we don't!
So why
Then
don't we...
let's figure that part out next.
Yeah.
If there are two killers, we need to know.
It has to be the same person, right?
Says
feel
who?
like it was.
I totally think it's two people.
Are you dense? It's clearly the same person.
Actually, shockingly, I agree with Tamba. It makes more sense for there to be two killers.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards two separate killers myself, honestly.
Same.
It's one.
It seems as though we're somewhat divided on the issue.
It has to be one. What the hell are the odds that two people would decide to kill someone on the same day?
Coincidences happen. Circumstances being unlikely doesn't make them impossible.
But if there were two killers, why would the second killer rig a trap above the woodshop door?
Okay, if we're going with that it's possibly two killers, there could be a chance that maybe both killers work together. Possibly. Because Kamimura and Suno's deaths are definitely connected. That is, if that is the case. But I don't
It
think
wouldn't
is.
make any sense. Nobody goes in there. The trap could be there forever without anyone running into it.
Unless Hasagawa said it. Since he knew that he and
You
Kamimura...
already exonerated Hasagawa a million times.
It would make way more sense for it to be one killer. They kill Kamimura with the stuff from the woodshop so that we'll have to go investigate the woodshop. Then, when we do, and someone dies, it makes us not want to investigate any further, cause any room could be trapped. It's a good plan, but it doesn't make any sense if there are two different killers.
The killer couldn't have known for certain we would investigate the woodshop, though.
Maybe not, but they certainly could have guided us in that direction. Like Hama said, using tools from the woodshop in Kamimura's murder made us investigate the woodshop, did it not? And when we found the trap, we immediately stopped investigating any new rooms.
That's honestly kind of genius.
Don't give them so much credit. They're gonna get caught, so they can't be that fucking smart.
Hold on. The two murder methods are completely different though. Two totally different victims with no connection between them. Two totally different methods with no connection between them and no evidence connecting either one.
There is evidence connecting them though. The woodshop tools. Obviously, Kamimura's death is connected to the woodshop. Suno died.
It's my dog. Good boy, you gonna lay down? I'm not getting up, buddy. I'm just fixing up my hair.
In the woodshop. There's your connection.
But how would they have had time to clone the key and set up the whole trap and drug Kamimura all in one day?
That's only like 3 things.
Plus, you can leave the 3D printer unattended while it's still printing.
The trap wasn't exactly some Machiavellian level shit. They would have had time. It was a spike plate, not a rocket engine.
It does kind of make sense.
I'm convinced.
They've gotta be the same person. There's no way around it.
But just now, buddy. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, dog's distracted me. It happens every time he's in here. It's my fault. Oh. Okay, whatever, sorry.
Then can we please get back to alibis? We need to figure out who it actually could have been.
But you're demanding that everyone have an alibi for 2 days straight. Nobody's gonna have that airtight of an alibi. It isn't possible.
Why are you so opposed to going after people's alibis?
Just go after them. Just go through them anyway, so you can at least kind of maybe count some people out of possibly being the killer.
I'm not, but the way you want to go about it doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so what about your alibi then? Let's start with you. Where were you?
I spent almost all of yesterday in the medical bay with Suno and Mai.
And last night?
You don't have an alibi either.
Yes, I do! I was with Takeshi all night!
Of course he would claim that. You two are extremely close.
My baby, stop distracting me, silly. I'm trying to stream. Go lay down, baby. It's okay. He'll lay down this one. He'll be fine.
That doesn't mean anything.
Are you fucking serious? I already told everyone exactly what I was doing last night. I already told you exactly where I was. Hayashi has the evidence to back it. You won't say shit about where you were. You have no alibi.
I do have an alibi. Just because my alibi isn't 2 days long doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I could have done anything yesterday because I was in the medbay the whole time.
Shocker. Yanagi Shigeki throwing another investigation. Who could have guessed?
At least I'm actually making an effort. Instead of floating around the school uselessly for the entire investigation period, just tacking myself onto whatever other groups I find along the way.
He was exactly where he said he was. What are you getting at? I was with him last night. He has an alibi. You have no right to be accusing him when you still haven't said where you were last night.
But I do have an alibi.
I'm so fucking sick of this shit. Yanagi, where were you?
And
if you don't tell me the truth right now...
Oh yeah, we don't know what he did last night because I forgot that he's keeping it secret for some reason.
One time, you've lost all my trust.
Come on, just say it.
I was on the second floor.
What?
I was on the second floor.
Where?
Trying to get into the locked room.
What?
I wasn't damaging the door. I was just trying to pick the lock. Surely that wouldn't have counted as damage to school property.
You're kidding.
I wanted to get it open so you can stop acting like this. Ever since your argument with Tamba, you've been taking far too many risks and you've been hurt. And I'm worried about you. I wanted to get the door open so you can stop concerning yourself with it and just focus on staying alive like you did before. So that's where I was. I spent my night upstairs trying to open the door. I failed, for the record, but that's where I was. That's my alibi.
Here's the deal. Nobody needs to have an airtight alibi for both days, as long as they have an alibi for some of it. If the killer is one person, they just have to have an alibi for some of the time that they supposedly spent prepping the murder. So we just need to find someone with no alibi. And if we don't have that, we need to attack the weakest alibi.
So when do we need to have an alibi for?
You need an alibi for yesterday, an alibi for last night, or an alibi for this morning.
Then I'm cleared. I was in the medbay the entire time. Didn't leave once until the investigation started.
I can vouch for that.
But you left during the night, Shigeki. You can't vouch for the fact that she was there then.
I can. I stopped by the medbay in the middle of the night. Hayashi was there.
What were you doing in the med bay in the middle of the night?
Visiting old friends. Don't worry about it.
Then let's tackle you next. Where were you for the rest of the day?
Nothing, honey. Go lay down. Go on your bed. I'm not picking you up. No, I'm not picking you up. Go lay down, baby. It's okay. Oh, little kiss. Thank you. Okay. Go lay down, baby. It's okay.
Yesterday, I was mostly just watching Watari practice in her room. I've got supreme control over all forms of fire, so she had me there as a safety precaution.
Which is why my room only partially burnt up.
Exactly. You're welcome.
What about in the morning?
I was hanging out with Watari then too, right after breakfast. We were both in the kitchen when the body discovery announcement went off. Nobody else was there.
Shigeki, where were you in the morning?
I was sleeping, unfortunately.
Well, him being up all night would explain why he was so tired.
I briefly attended breakfast, but I went back to bed after that.
He was definitely sleeping when I came to get him. Shirtless, by the way.
That's completely irrelevant to the case. You truly just say whatever you want.
I mean, I was within Kamigawa all night. We've already established that. But I spent most of yesterday with Masanari. I was trying to fix his PC.
Yeah, I can back that up.
This morning, though, I was with Nakamigawa again.
I was in my room, so I don't really have an alibi, but I was already exonerated since the body discovery announcement played for me.
Same.
I spent most of yesterday on my own, but I did briefly spend some time tending to staff duties with Nishina.
Yep, can confirm.
I spend most of my time patrolling the hall, since I'm the hall overlord. Unfortunately, that leaves me alone a lot of the time, but I do have an alibi for this morning. That means I'm safe, right?
Depends. What's the alibi?
I was patrolling the halls.
Okay, but see, that's not an alibi.
I can prove it, though. I saw Hasegawa go up to the library about 20 minutes after breakfast. I saw Watari go into Ham's room and knock on his door. Then I saw the two of them go to the dining room, and 10 minutes after that, Ham and Wada walked down to the West Wing bathrooms. Then Hama walked Wada back to his room and went back to the dining room. Plus, I saw Suna go from the med bay to the storage room about 30 minutes after breakfast, then head back to the med bay. That all happened, right? If I saw it, that's proof I was in the hall, isn't it?
Definitely.
Did that all happen?
I can back the Suno part.
She got my part right too.
It's the same.
Then my alibi works.
It also helps back up Watari's alibi.
Yep. I was with Okazaki and Hama yesterday. Then I was with Hama in the morning. Last night, though, I was sleeping. I don't know how you guys spend all night running around like that. I was tired.
So then it's just...
Sorry, it's my dog. Honey, stop looking at me like that. Stop staring at me. I don't like when you stare at me. Come on, go lay down. Go lay down, baby. On your bed. What's your problem? You gotta wait until after stream, okay? Can you wait? Can you wait? Go lay down.
Tamba?
This looks kind of bad for me.
Then start talking.
I swear I didn't do anything! I don't have an alibi, sure, but that's because I was in my room all day! I was just trying to stay warm! I left for a bit yesterday and in the morning too! To get a pan from the kitchen! I was heating them up to keep with me in my room! It was to keep myself warm! I didn't do anything crazy like decapitate someone or rig up a spike trap or whatever!
Go lay
And
down,
yet
baby.
you're the only one with no alibi.
But it wasn't me! I just didn't want to leave my room!
Huh. Suddenly not so bold without Hayashi backing you.
I didn't do it though!
Please, hold on a second. Kazutoshi and Princess Tamba didn't always get along, but I highly doubted something she would kill him over.
Except that she had a motive this time.
What?
You said it yourself, right? She got in a big fight with Hayashi. Hayashi doesn't have her back anymore. Now she needs to actually fend for herself for once.
So she went for an easy kill to get herself out of here.
I didn't! I swear I didn't! You've got it all wrong! I didn't!
But we found the kitchen utensils in her room. Her story has evidence. We found the pots and pans she claimed to have been heating up. Surely that adds some credit to her story.
I couldn't even have lifted that spike plate anyway, especially not all the way above the door. It was too heavy.
How did they get the spike plate above the door?
That's actually a pretty good question.
The woodshop's right across from the second incinerator room. They've got a couple ladders in there.
Right.
The big one plus a smaller one that would fit a whole lot better in the woodshop. All they need to do is run across the hall and grab a ladder.
Well, yeah, that'd get them above the door, but the plate's still heavy, right? How'd they lift it?
Tamba's an athlete, though, right? Why are we so quick to write off the idea that she could have lifted it? She works out, every day.
But it's still almost the size of me. There's no way I could rig up a trap that heavy and that big while standing on the ladder.
I mean, there's ropes in the woodshop too, right? Like those ropes holding the pallets down? Couldn't they just take one of those ropes and heave the plate up?
Not a bad idea. Could have strung it through the ceiling beams.
Exactly. They tie one end to the plate,
Sorry.
loop it over the beam, and heave it up. It wouldn't even need to be that strong. It's not like it was crazy heavy, just pretty heavy. They could heave it up, tie the other end of the rope down to the shelf or table or something, and then the plate would just be suspended in place. They could just rig it up while it's hanging there.
Okay, speaking of rigging it up, how does the trap even work? Did we figure that out?
I went back and forth on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's not that complicated. They fitted the plate to an axle and hooked it up above the door. The axle was on this little...
Ronan, go lay down. I don't know what he wants. He either wants outside or he wants up on my lap. I don't usually let him up on my lap because it's kind of a distraction. A little wet nose. Big boy. Okay, sorry.
Wooden bit. Ugh, fuck, it would be so much easier to just show you. It was on this little wooden bit that let it turn. Like an axle.
I'm vaguely following.
Then, it was also hooked up to this little piece of rope that was connected to the actual door. So when you opened the door, it would rotate the axle a bit, and the plate's weight would do the rest. The axle would tip it forward, and the plate would swing forward with its full weight behind it.
Which is exactly what happened when we opened the door.
And I definitely saw the rope connecting the door to the axle. I can confirm that without a doubt.
Okay, so let me see if I'm following this so far. Yesterday, while we're freaking out about Hayashi, the killer steals Kamimura's room key. They model it, clone it, and while the thing's printing, they get to work on the spike plate. During the night, they poison Kamimura's food and rig up the trap. In the morning, he eats breakfast, passes out, gets kidnapped and dragged upstairs, then they kill him. We all investigate, Suno gets killed by the trap, and here we are.
Oh, so my theory of Kamimura being tortured seems to be out the window. But I still don't understand why they went so hard on him. Like, the killer did so much to his body. It's... yeah.
Does that check out?
Sounds about right.
That doesn't really sound right at all, though.
What?
I still have a lot of questions that we haven't really taken the time to come back to. Like, how did Kamimura even get up to the art room without being spotted?
Oh yeah, that.
How did the killer get the saw and the knife to the art room without being spotted? If we found the body not long after Kamimura died, how come the killer didn't have any blood on them? How'd they get the tools down the...
I think I just came to like the horrifying realization that Okazaki could easily hide those tools in her big coat of hers. Like, Wataru is always like, they were kind of playing around with her coat just to keep each other warm. Oh dear. Like, I know Hiroaki has a pretty big coat, but I do believe Okazaki's is much bigger.
Wada's room so fast? They weren't spotted doing that either, right? And why was Kamimura's room such a mess if there wasn't even a struggle?
I'm more curious about why there were signs of a struggle in Tsuno's room.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Holy shit, I totally forgot about that. Good question. The place was trashed.
Why?
We have no idea. It had been completely ravaged.
Suno didn't go back to her room after leaving in the morning, though, right? She went to breakfast, then she went to the medbay. So how could her room have been trashed? Was it trashed yesterday?
Definitely not. She would have mentioned something like that, right? If someone had gone in and trashed her room, I doubt she would have been comfortable sleeping there.
How would someone have even gotten into her room to begin with, though? Was there another key we didn't know about?
I don't think Manami's key was ever missing, though, was it?
She slept in her own room last night, as far as I know. She had to have had it then.
So what? She trashed her own room? Why?
I really can't see her doing that.
Sorry if this is off topic, but could it be related to Ken's note?
What do you mean?
Well, we can't figure out when that note got planted, right? Since it wasn't there when you woke up. And we can't figure out when the saw got planted in Masanari's room. Plus, we can't figure out when Kazutoshi's room got trashed either. The killer would have needed access to all 4 rooms, right? But we only found 1 key.
So how'd they do it?
Well, I mean... what if they did it during the investigation?
Oh dear.
All the rooms would have been unlocked, right? So they could have gone in and trashed the place.
But before we even got there?
No, hold on. This makes sense. They had the key to Kamimura's room, so they could have easily started with his room while the other rooms were still locked. The body wouldn't have even had to have been discovered yet, so they kill Kamimura, run down to his room, and destroy the place. Then the body gets discovered. They come meet up with the rest of us, and since everyone knew Yanagi and Hayashi would be handling the basement floor and starting in the medbay, they knew they had some time to hit the dorms.
Then all they would need to do is trash Suno's room and plunder evidence before Yanagi and Hayashi caught up to them.
We started with the men's dorms as well. They could easily have still been in Suna's room as we began investigating.
That's the only period of time that makes sense. It's the only time all doors are unlocked and the only time they could plant evidence without the owners of the room seeing it.
So then we should be looking at the people who investigated the dorms?
Well, Hasegawa's already exonerated.
Yanagi's not.
What? Why are you accusing me?
I don't know, because it makes perfect sense. You weren't there when we all gathered at the art supply room, right? So when the killer was supposed to be trashing Kamimura's room, you were totally unaccounted for. When I came to get you, you were shirtless, which would explain the whole killer not being covered in blood thing. You just changed clothes.
I was shirtless because I was sleeping.
You were sleeping shirtless when it was that cold. I don't know if I believe that.
I'm not bothered by cold.
But that was really cold, man.
Well, I mean, he's a figure skater. Of course he'd be somewhat used to the cold.
I still had plenty of blankets on. I just wasn't wearing a shirt. I never wear a shirt to bed.
More like you knew the cold was turning off. You'd already killed someone, so it was bound to turn off. You knew you'd be fine.
But how would knowing the cold would turn off prevent me from being cold in the moment? But by your own logic, I still should have had a shirt on.
Except that I don't think the reason you ditched the shirt was because you knew about the cold mode of ending. That's just some backup ammo. You had no shirt on because your clothes were drenched in blood.
I have an alibi, though. You already know where I was last night.
No, we don't. We know what you told us, but we don't actually have anything to back that claim up with.
Plus, I mean, you had a motive, right? You already said you were trying to protect Hayashi. You said you were trying to keep her safe. So
You killed Kamimura and Suno to end the motive for Hayashi, to make her less desperate to escape.
And then, what? Chickened out at the last second? If he was trying to protect Hayashi, why are we even doing a trial? He changed his mind.
I didn't do anything, though. There's nothing to change my mind about.
Yeah, hold on. There's no way. I was with him for the entire investigation. I would have seen him do this shit. He didn't.
Unless you're just saying that to cover for him. If the theory flies, he's doing this for you, right? So of course you'd have a reason to cover for him.
Like hell, I wouldn't let everyone else die just so I could escape.
Either way, I wouldn't have been able to rig up the plate one-handed. There's no way I could have done that.
Oh yeah, right. His one hand is damaged still.
your hand still doesn't work? Jeez, isn't it healing yet?
He can't move his fingers at all. He wouldn't have been able to rig up the plate, and I
Yeah.
doubt he would have been able to carry Toshi upstairs either.
Carrying Kamimura upstairs one-handed doesn't seem like that much of a challenge, but I guess I can see what you mean about the plate. That does seem a bit far-fetched.
Then perhaps it was Hayashi.
What?
She would have zero problems rigging the plate, right? And she also knows how the plate works. I can't really see Hayashi covering for Yanagi, but I can certainly see Yanagi covering for Hayashi. He has a track record, after all.
Except I was in the med bay for 2 days straight. Anyone can back that.
Yeah, I think Hayashi's name is already clear, honestly.
I certainly didn't see her do anything during the investigation that would lead me to suspect her.
Then I mean, what about Hiroaki?
Excuse me?
You went down to wake up Yanagi, right? You were alone in the unlocked dorm hall during that time. You could have done something. Nobody would know, since nobody else was coming down to the basement anyway.
You also investigated alone.
So did you! You and Tama both investigated alone! Tons of people were alone! I went off alone, you went off alone, Tama went off alone, Wada went off alone, Hasegawa went off alone, Watari went off alone! That means nothing! Plus, I never even saw Kamimura's trash room! Only Hayashi and Yanagi saw it! You should be looking at them!
We already did, though.
They probably worked together to fuck up the entire investigation! They've been working together this entire time! No wonder they—
Are you an idiot? How would I have written Hasegawa's note? I'm the one telling everybody it's fake. Why would I talk about how fake it is if I wanted everyone to believe it?
Besides, as we've repeated, she was in the med bay.
It doesn't matter. My alibi is completely ironclad, so you've got nothing to accuse me with either way.
Except you and Ojima could be covering for each other just as well as myself and Mai.
What could we possibly gain from that? Only one person gets to escape. With you and Mai, at least it's obvious who that would be. But I'm not dying just so Nakamigawa can go home.
Damn right, because that would be stupid. I'm not dying for Takeshi.
What are you saying about me?
That you're blind and stupid, and you die for any girl in this building because you're a giant doormat!
At least he's actually making claims with merit behind them. You've just been accusing whoever the hell you want for this entire trial. Do you even listen to yourself?
Shut up!
Oh.
You just keep talking about stupid shit that has nothing to do with the case! How many times have we gone around in circles already? How many times have we talked about the same thing when we still have questions we haven't answered yet? I don't care about the note, I don't care about the dorms! We've already figured that out! That's not getting us any closer to the killer! Can we please just talk about how the hell they got him upstairs in the first place?
Could they have just wrapped him up in something? Or covered him? Like with a tarp from the art room, or with a sheet?
Nobody saw anyone carrying something like that around, though. Hanano was patrolling the hallway and she didn't see anything.
No, not a thing.
They
Unless Hanano's the killer. Yeah, I know I said about her coat possibly being able to conceal stuff.
moved the saw too. How was the killer moving so many things around without getting spotted carrying any of it?
They had to have had a way of concealing stuff like that in plain sight.
How though?
I'm not sure what you're looking at me for.
It wouldn't be the first time we've seen you hide an entire person in your coat.
Uh-oh. Oh no. It sounds like it is Hanano. I guess I was right.
Can't honestly be serious.
Watori's a lot bigger than Kamimura too. You definitely could have hidden him in there.
Do you genuinely not understand how stupid this sounds?
You knock him out, slip him into your coat, carry him upstairs, nobody sees a thing.
Could have done the same with the saw, too.
But I was patrolling. I've already proven that. I'm accounted for.
I mean, are you though?
You said yourself that I correctly assessed what you were doing this morning.
Yeah, but we kind of already talked about those things, didn't we? Or at the very least, we kinda gave you enough to work with. You patrol every day, right? You probably know people's schedules well enough to fill in the blanks by now.
Okazaki knew about the 3D printed seal. I told her about it a couple days ago.
That doesn't mean I know anything about it. I just knew we had one and that it was broken.
I mean, if anyone in here was going to decapitate and mutilate someone...
Except that I've never expressed any sort of desire to hurt Kamimura or Suno.
Whoa, hold on. Not true.
Yeah, definitely not true. You and Manami got into a huge fight just a few days ago. I was there.
Yeah, me too.
And you've got a track record. Wada's ribs are proof enough of that.
But would she really have killed Suno over something that petty?
I get what you mean, but that trap could have been set for anyone. Like, anyone could have died, besides the killer, obviously, could have died from the trap. It just miraculously happened to be Suno that got killed by it.
I mean, if she killed Suno strictly for personal reasons, it would kinda make sense why Suno's room was totally trashed. Maybe Okazaki just hated her.
If she needed a sacrifice to scare us off investigating with the traps in place, it makes sense that she would pick someone she hates. And if she hates Suno, it makes sense that she would trash her room when given the opportunity.
But I've been helping for the entire investigation and trial.
Can I easily say that Sasaki was like that too?
Why would I help you convict me? I participated fully in the investigation. I willingly offered up information about the chemistry lab.
Hey, here's a question. Why the hell were you investigating the computer lab?
What are you doing, buddy? You can't go under my desk. Sorry, dog again. He's very needy.
That was after Suno died, right? So we'd all agreed to not go into any new rooms? Why were you going against that?
Because it was clearly safe to investigate. Wada was already in there. None of these arguments hold any water. My alibi is still perfectly viable. This doesn't make any sense as an accusation.
Can you open your coat then?
Oh. Is he suggesting that there might be blood under her coat?
Sorry?
Your coat. Can you open it?
I'd rather not. It's still fairly cold.
Hanano, open your coat.
I guess it was her. Ooh, the silence is deafening.
Jesus!
Oh, God.
I knew it. She did it. She did it. She's the killer. Okay, my thought about her coat possibly being in aid of her possibly being the killer was right. Sorry, it was a bit of everything. Anyway, jeez.
There's the blood.
I got stabbed.
Once, and it wasn't even that deep. You're completely covered in blood.
I'm not.
You are!
Hanano, why are you covered in blood?
Because she's the killer.
What did you do?
I didn't.
What the hell?
Con.
What?
What is she even?
Is that my cassette player?
Con. Huh? My. Look at you.
So that's what she looks like. Or they look like, whatever.
All your neurons firing today, I guess. You finally picked up on the hints I've been laying down for, what, hours now?
What the hell? Who are you?
Well, I shouldn't be surprised. A band of dimwits this easy to kill was bound to have some problems figuring things out without a little boost. No pun intended, of course. Con.
Is she fucking losing it?
Now, no need to get upset. Allow me to dumb things down for you, Oni boy. You're standing in the presence of insurmountable greatness.
Hanano!
The fox's call to a midnight moon. The streak of white in a starless, desolate sky. The phantom thief of Nagoya.
Phantom. What?
Aw, are you sad? Not what you expected, right? Your
Oh
first
crap, lots of comments. You were right about the coat thing. The culprit was also kind of obvious. Live Okazaki face reveal. There she goes. This is where the trial divides fans. We love a trial for your breakdown. Watching this live was absolutely insane, huh?
time meeting a true and honest supervillain, is it? I can understand why you'd be intimidated.
Okazaki, what the actual hell are you talking about?
It's just like for some.
Toshi was an unfortunate sacrifice to make, I guess. It would have been very interesting to watch him figure this one out. But he was a natural bump in the road when it came to taking on my true nemesis.
You can't be serious.
My, to think I would joke about something.
Wait, she's suggesting that she's a supervillain and she was like Suno's arch enemy?
Like
I must have misunderstanding this completely.
this?
Shut up!
A rivalry on this scale is nothing to joke about. Do you know how long Suno, do you have any idea how long she's been thwarting me?
Oh, I am.
Wording?
Oh, Okazaki, you're from Nagoya too? I feel like she doesn't even. We're nemesis. How could she even?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
The nerve of her. The whole time we've been in here, she's acted like I don't even exist. And then.
Are you fucking serious? What are you even talking about? Nemesis? Supervillain? Are you completely fucking delusional?
I'm completely awakened. Con.
Is that why you've been messing with Wada? Just to piss off Suno?
Oh, Nishino, you have no idea. You should have seen how angry she was. She never looked at me that way before. She completely loathed me. Like a nemesis is supposed to. Like she's supposed to. Like she's always been meant to.
Huh?
And all I had to do was rough Wada up a little. Who cares? That's child's play. For
Still, Wada, Okazaki, and Suno both being from Nagoya is a plot point. Not that Suno seemed to know. Huh.
the phantom thief of Nagoya. Con.
Shut up!
Then you're the one who's been
Stealing? I'm amazed it took you this long to figure that out. What? Why? You mad? You want your cigar box back?
You.
Maybe guard your stuff a little better, dunkass.
The hell?
Everyone's complaining about their stuff getting stolen, but this is some of the simplest, easiest, most beginner-level stealing I've ever had to do. Are you serious? You guys just leave this stuff in your desks. It's tragic. You're tragic.
She's completely delusional.
I'm inspired is what I am. You know what kind of an opportunity I was presented with here? Locked in a game of murder and betrayal with my lifelong nemesis, my rival. Her fate was sealed the second she decided to act like she had no clue who I was.
She didn't have a clue who you were. She didn't care. What are you even talking about? You seriously think she was your nemesis? Sarah didn't give a single fuck about you. She wouldn't waste her time on something that's stupid.
It's not like she was a real superhero. That's not... You're completely insane!
I prefer the term opportunistic, eloquent, handsome, thrilling, crafty, fancy, classy maybe.
There is nothing classy about whatever the fuck is going on here.
You killed her over a completely fictional rivalry.
Oh, so... Sorry, brain farting. So all this was to kill Suno. Like, was Suno, like... Did her falling for the trap, was that on purpose? Or not really, like, falling for it, but getting caught in the trap, was that on purpose?
Fictional's a stretch. We're not fiction, are we? Reality is very real. And our rivalry, now that was very real.
Stop, please! What are you doing? This isn't real! This can't be real! Why are you doing this?
So Kazutoshi...
Died for nothing. That's about right. It was an easy shot, the quickest way to get to Minami.
And Minami...
Died for love! Her passion, her loathing. Who can really say? She reached the natural end of her life. A rivalry so torrid can only last for so long until someone ends up hurt. I guess I'm next. No?
God, we can't kill you fast enough at this point. Why the hell is she still here?
Good fucking question. She's gonna be dead in a minute anyway if we don't start wrapping this shit up.
Then let's go over what happened.
Halt! I have no interest in sitting through another boring, loathsome, 6-page rant about how everyone died, or what my motivations were, or any of that trash. If we must recap the case, I'm doing it myself, with flair.
Just stop talking!
When Tarada died, it was a big eye-opener for me. Life is short, you know, which gave me an idea. Kamimura's short too, which would make him pretty easy to overpower. So when the temperature started dropping and it became clear someone had to die, I thought, hey, now's my chance to end a long and tumultuous character arc. Here's my chance to purge Nagoya of all that is good and kind. Here's my chance to capture a win for pure, true, righteous villainy.
Righteous villainy?
So I started planning. Wada helped me out a bunch by telling me about that 3D printer. Really not that hard to fix at all. I've got one at home that's pretty similar, so I'm pretty handy with the thing. They're excellent tools for prop crafting. When he told me we'd have one, I just knew I had to incorporate it somehow. What better way than to copy Kamimura's room key? You guys got one thing 100% spot on. I swiped it when we were in the auditorium. He was standing still, everyone was distracted. It just seemed like a perfect opportunity, you know? Why pass it up? When I saw him freaking out about it, though, looking everywhere for the key and whatnot, that was just the icing on the cake. Nothing makes me laugh like seeing some sad sack trying to find the stuff I've already got in my pocket.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Then, all I had to do was get a good picture of the key on one of the AV room cameras, model it on a PC, and print it in the computer lab. Voila, new key. Isn't technology amazing?
We already know all of this shit. Go die already!
After I set that up to print, it really didn't take too long at all, honestly, since the keys aren't all that big. I went off to work on my spike plate. Do you like it? I'm not a woodworker, but I feel like it came out pretty nicely. For a spike plate, that is. This is my first time setting a trap, but it's certainly my first time making a spike plate, so it's a little embarrassing to show it off on such a big stage. It was effective, though. I just wish I'd seen it in action. Seeing the life leave Tsunominami's eyes is something I would have paid for. How was it, Wada? Did she go uneasy? Quiet? Crying? Cursing my very name to the heavens above? Kun.
You. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Once I had that all rigged up, I grabbed a knife and a saw and I headed off on my way. Dropped them off in the yard supply room for later. I grabbed the key on my way back downstairs. Thank God I'd taken precautions to keep Wada out of the computer lab. Otherwise, he might have gone in there and taken it. Kun. Looks like kicking someone's ribs and on the computer lab floor is enough to keep them out of the computer lab for a bit.
Motomoko, I want to vote. End this shit already.
Yeah, seriously. I want to vote too.
After that, I went to the chem lab and picked up the drugs I was gonna need. That part was crazy easy. None of that stuff is really hidden or anything.
Hold on. Tomba wishes dead silence standing next to the monologue murderer.
It's all labeled, so I just grabbed it and went downstairs. The funny part is how easy it was to actually poison him. Thanks for that, my. Cooking him his own separate food made it super simple. Shh, I'm talking.
Shut the fuck up!
Once his food was spiked, all I had to do was wait. So after he ate breakfast, I gave him a few minutes and I just went to his room and scooped him up like it was nothing. He was out cold. Took him upstairs, popped his sweaters off, popped my coat off, tied him up. He wasn't super out cold though, which had me a little worried. Figured maybe I didn't use enough for hypnol or wasn't as potent as I thought or something like that, but he was stirring a bit. Not my favorite. So I took a precautionary measure in the form of a little trophy.
His tongue.
Ah.
I cut out his tongue. Kun.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
And before you ask, I am not giving it back. I've earned it for how hard I've worked today. But anyway,
Can someone please just punch them right now, please?
cut out his tongue, and that's when he definitely woke up. It was funny though, because he only woke up for like a second, and then he froze up and couldn't do anything. So I just went to town, grabbed the wood knife and started going crazy. I wanted things to look bad.
Why?
Because if I made an absolutely gory mess of him, there's no way Hasegawa would be able to investigate it, and he's smarter than all of you. So I had to make sure he was totally out of the picture. A precautionary measure.
You did all that just to fuck with Hasegawa?
Yep. I'm afraid so. Had to be done. I popped a few holes in him, knew what I had to do, but at this point he was bleeding pretty bad. He was already dying. I would say he was choking on his own tongue, but, you know, he was mostly just choking on blood from his tongue, which was gone. He was on his way out, so I let him finish that up, and then I was like, how can I make this worse? Which is when I got the idea to cut him open.
God. Fuck. Shut up.
So I grabbed the saw and started opening him up. Abdomen's where all the good stuff is, so I started on that. But then it kind of seemed, I don't know, tacky, messy. Not classy, that's for sure. And what's a phantom thief without class? So I took off his head instead. I even wrapped it up. Much classier.
Hey, let us vote already!
After that, I wiped the blood off my hands. Thanks, trusty black hoodie. Rebandaged them, threw my coat back on, and snuck all the weapons back downstairs. Trashing Kamimuto's room was pretty quick work. Left the knife in there too, just to spice things up a little. But then the announcement went off and I had to head back upstairs. Small bump in the road. I still had the whole saw on me after all, so I was feeling a bit nervous. But since Hiroaki wanted to investigate alone, I actually got up pretty easy. I just went back downstairs and kept working. Wrote the note, left the saw in Wada's room, at the key in his desk. I didn't think any of that crap was gonna work. Not a chance, but I wanted to make things a bit more fun. And what's more fun than a whole second mystery?
Shut up!
By the time I got around to Suna's room, I really just couldn't help myself. I knew she was never going to see it anyway, but to trash my rival's room as one final show of malice, I could possibly waste the opportunity.
You destroyed her room just to...
You mad? You look pretty mad. What are you gonna do?
Shut up!
Kun. I took everything from you. You're just a sad little loser left behind with nothing. Cry about it.
Fuck you!
When the second announcement played, my job was done. That meant my mission was a success. Both of them were dead, everything was right where it needed to be, and I was off the hook. For the record, the Rohypnol, right here, this pocket. You guys never even wondered where the bottle went. There's no way you would have been able to solve this without me dropping you hints the whole time. You're all completely lackluster and incompetent. Kun.
You fucking Masanari!
Let go of me! Let go!
Aww, He wants to hit me. Can you even reach all the way up here? Well, what a truly tragic little...
What the fuck is the matter with you?
Ken!
Are you fucking serious? This was all over your stupid supervillain roleplay? You killed 2 people over this shit? Are you kidding?
Hasagawa.
Well, you should feel honored to have landed a blow on the face of...
Just let us vote! I'm sick of listening to this shit!
Hold on. The real crazy thing is that she probably could have gotten away with it just by skipping Kamimura and only doing the spike play part of the plan. Not a lot of evidence would have been left. Thanks, Ken. Alright. Let's see how she dies. I know I said I wouldn't have mind Okazaki dying, but I didn't expect her to take Kamimura and Suno down with her. Anyway.
Now begin the voting process. You'll be prompted to select the student that you believe is guilty of murdering Kamimura Kazutoshi and Suno Manami.
Why will you do this? I trusted you. You weren't like this.
Sorry, boss. I was. I've been like this from the start. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you that. Really.
How could you do this to me?
It had to be done. You'll understand one day. I'm sure of it.
I won't! I'll never understand!
After all of the votes have been cast, the execution will commence.
You will. Truly, you will. You're certainly smart enough. If we had more time, I think I could have shown you the light. I think I could have shown you things you'd never even dream of. You'd have made a perfect psychic, Nishi. If only you could see the light of villainy.
Please press your buttons now.
I would never do the sick and twisted shit you did. I will never be like you. I hate you. I hate you.
You hate me? No, that can't be right. Because I died, you get to live, right? Surely you can appreciate that at the very least.
Don't try and act like you did shit for her.
What? Huh?
Don't try and spin this like some noble fucking sacrifice. You did this shit because you're completely fucking delusional. You did this shit for yourself. This has nothing to do with her. Don't drag her into it.
No.
Thank you for voting. Your votes are currently being tallied and will be shared with the class shortly.
Well, I suppose that's a perspective I can appreciate. I think I can probably take a guess at where the votes are leaning.
Stop fucking talking.
The class has voted for Okazaki Hanano, the ultimate mask artisan, to be executed. This conclusion was correct. As a result, Okazaki Hanano will be punished with death.
I've been waiting to hear that for so long.
Shut up.
I can't wait to see what it is. A dramatic, vile death truly befitting a phantom thief. It's going to be incredible.
Shut up!
But I still have so many things left to say, and so little time left. I feel wrong to leave without giving each of you a proper goodbye.
Kill her already.
Well, if I don't have time to say goodbye to each and every one of you, at least let me say this.
Kill her.
Nishi, in our next life, we'll be foxes, okay?
If there are no further interruptions to speak of.
In that life, and in the next life too, I will follow your flame.
It's punishment time.
Damn. That was a lot. What the fuck was this chapter? That was a lot. Alright, let's see how she goes out.
Dr. Yonakura Haruka, Session 1, Log 65. I don't even know where to start. The embarrassment that was the trial I just watched. There were no words. The crime itself was particularly grisly this time around, but the trial is just a mockery. It was a mockery of everything this killing game has built up and everything it stands for. Truly.
This chapter is wild for sure.
Beyond that, earlier this afternoon, Student 9 kidnapped Student 4 and tortured him to death. Later on in the day, Student 11 walked into a trap that has been set up by Student 9 and died right in front of Student 6. Frankly, the entire thing was fairly crafty, but when it came to the actual trial, you may completely... Student 9 completely flew off the handle. She made a complete fool of herself, rambled complete nonsense, scared her fellow classmates, and then got carted off to the execution chamber. Dr. Khan had fun with this one, I think. Pulling students with particularly unique talents for execution always seems to spark his interest. I know he was disappointed that he didn't get to execute Student 11, but I warned him as much. She didn't seem like the type to crack. I told him that at some point he was probably going to be executing Student 9, and here we are. He'd been planning this one for a while, so why don't I just dive right in?
Alright.
Midas touch. Student 9 was strapped to a metal post and had her face mask removed. Dr. Kitamuro then attached a ceramic cast to her head that covered the student's face, ears, and part of her neck. Student 9's head was kept strapped back against the metal post during this time. With Student 9 secured, a drip affixed to the top of the post began gradually filling the ceramic cast with molten gold. Molten gold?
Oh my god.
Actual gold? Who okayed that? How did that get through budgeting? This entire project had already been an absolutely massive money sink. How the hell are we? Filling the ceramic cast with molten gold. This inflicted catastrophic burning on Student 9's face. The gold soon began filling her mouth and nose as well, blocking off her ability to breathe and causing further internal burning. By the time the entire cast has filled and set, Student 9 had already passed. The cast was removed, leaving the golden mask fused to her face.
Wow.
He thinks he's real clever for that one, I bet. Frankly, I'm not all that impressed. I get what he was going for, but come on. He gave the mask maker a mask. Big surprise. Quite frankly, Dr. Khan is starting to seriously get under my nerves. He's repeatedly made attempts to go completely over my head. He's directly going against my orders in regards to the rabbit, not to mention the incident with Student 5. It's like he doesn't understand that regardless of his position amongst the others, I'm his boss. At the very least, we're finally going to save money on a motive. The next one isn't nearly as expensive. If anything, it's going to take some of the cost off our overhead. We've almost drained the entire budget at this point. It's time to start cutting costs where we can. Perhaps I'll have a talk with Dr. Khan about reducing the theatrics of his executions. Molten gold. God, he can't be serious. Lovely. But Omoko's come back for another visit. Well, unfortunately, I have to take this, so I'll end matters here. Dr. Yonekura Haruka, Session 1, Log 65, out.
Monamoko, you decided to stop by.
I did. I wanted to raise a concern regarding today's trial.
Believe me, you're not the only one. I've got plenty of concerns regarding today's trial. Go on.
The students utilized the body discovery announcement in their deductions today. They were not meant to do that.
Utilized it how?
They were able to instantly exonerate 2 students that would have otherwise been extremely suspicious, as those students had already triggered the body discovery announcements, and thus could not have been the blackened. I think we need to modify the way the body discovery announcement works.
And how would you suggest we modify it?
I believe multiple students should be required to trigger the announcement.
Oh, I thought that was already in place. Sort of, but now that I'm remembering, it makes sense. Yeah, that would make it a little more difficult.
It should only play after a certain number of students have discovered the body.
All right, but then what's stopping them from delaying the investigation with that knowledge? They could have one student discover the body, then just bar anyone else from looking at it until they had finished investigating the school thoroughly. Then all they need to do is look at the body and the actual timer would start.
That does seem like a viable exploit.
I suppose we could just change the rule without telling them we changed the rule.
That may be our best bet.
Anything else?
Yes, actually. In regards to the motive, I wasn't sure when to disable it.
What do you mean?
The air conditioning system in the school was highly audible. If I had disabled it as soon as Student 4 died, like I was meant to, the students would have known immediately that something was wrong, putting the Blackened at an unfair disadvantage.
So, what did you do instead?
I opted to disable the air conditioner just as Student 14 was approaching the first body, once I was sure that he would discover it. In the future, what should I do under similar circumstances?
We can handle that on a case-by-case basis. Next time, check in.
I didn't have time. Things happened rather quickly this morning.
If it's an emergency, go with your instincts. I think you did fine this time around.
Thank you.
Well, look who came to visit.
Seki, glad to see you're recovering well.
Recovering? I've been fine, I don't know what you mean. What about you? Recovering from Student 8?
I was left undamaged by Student 8's outburst.
You certainly look better though, huh? I barely even recognize you.
It's a natural transition.
Forgive me then. I don't exactly know what's considered natural for you.
Forgiven. I'd best be going though. I'd like to monitor the post-trial conversation.
Please do. Keep in touch, Monomoko.
Of course.
So how are you holding up?
I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be?
What? Because, Student 9.
What about her?
You executed your own kid. Doesn't that...
What?
I don't know, hurt?
It doesn't. Yume was a participant in the killing game. That's all that mattered.
Huh.
She chose to kill someone, and she met the consequences of that. Frankly, if anything, I'm just embarrassed that she made such an ass out of herself on the way out.
She's your kid, though.
Seki, I don't care. You're a father, yes?
Right, yeah, I have a daughter.
Then it makes sense you'd want me to be all broken up over this. As much as I hate to disappoint you, I'm not. My life is...
They did have the same hair and eye color. I didn't... Number 1 mom of the year. Yeah, I didn't notice, Okazaki's eye color that well, even though they're, like, pretty wide, you know? I sure wonder why Okazaki doesn't have her name. And I sure wonder why Okazaki doesn't have her name and has been homeless for a while. Oh.
It's going to continue either way. It just has one less burden now. That's it. How old is your daughter?
13.
Any special skills?
No, none.
Shame. I'm done here. Get back to work. I need to go have a conversation with the finance department.
Right.
Jeez.
Well, that happened. God, where do I even... What the hell was that? I can't believe they died over something so... just... God, what a fucking mess. Frankly, I'm just impressed you managed to stick around through all that. We didn't lose you once. I thought for sure with how messed up the body was and everything, you would have... Takeshi?
I'm sorry. Just... fuck.
Hey, whoa. Breathe.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I've been trying so fucking hard to stay grounded all day. I didn't want to leave you alone with that shit again.
Takeshi.
I've been trying really, really hard.
I'm okay. See? Look at me. I'm okay. You did a good job. I'm alright.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
God. Fuck. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here.
You can go, okay? I'm alright. I'll be alright. You can go. Do what you need to do.
I don't want to leave you behind, though.
Takeshi, I'm okay. Give yourself a break, alright? Go. You can go. I'm going to talk to Wada, okay? Just stay here. Takeshi? Alright. I'll be back soon.
Hayashi?
The hell do you want?
I figured I'd find you back in here. Where's Yanagi?
Don't know, don't care. He can be wherever the hell he wants. I'm done with him.
What? You don't mean that. I'm sorry for what I said.
Whatever.
No, really. I mean it. I'm sorry. I was cold and I was stressed and I was looking for someone to blame for everything because I don't know. I feel like I have no control in here. Everything just happens. And there's nothing I can do about it. Not even when it comes to keeping myself alive. Asuka was right. Without you watching my back, I have nothing. Nobody likes me. I'm not smart. I'm not strong. I'm nothing. I think I'd probably be dead now if it wasn't for you. You're strong and you're brave and you really scared everyone when you got taken away by Monomoko like that. I'm sorry for hurting you. I'm sorry for saying something I knew would hurt you. Just to hurt you. I just miss you.
Ruby, God, fuck, you're lucky I promised to protect your ass. Now I have to forgive you.
You don't mind. If you don't want to forgive me, you don't have to.
Tamba, I forgive you.
Thank you.
Come here.
Thank you so much. I'm so scared.
Yeah, shut up.
Hey. Wada, I know you're in there. Open.
What do you want, Nakamigawa?
Come on.
Huh?
We're going to Suno's room. Come on.
What? But you said...
Come on.
Okay. They really made a mess out of this place.
Okay, so I'm not really, I don't know, good at this, I guess, but I had some stuff I wanted to say to you, so, hi, Suno. I'm sorry that I never thanked you for, I mean, you know, fixing my nose, or my mouth, or letting me hit up the medbay whenever I needed you, and, you know, everything. You probably did a lot more than I remember, or than I even knew, so just for everything. Thank you. You did a lot for everyone here, so I think we're gonna be a lot worse off without you. I think the world's gonna be a lot worse off without you. Yanagi's gonna take over the medbay now, I think. I'm glad you taught him everything you knew, 'cause, God, we'd be screwed without that. Takeshi and Hayashi are probably gonna start handling the cooking from now on. You left behind a lot of responsibilities. I'm sorry we put you through so much work. I'm sorry for making it seem like I didn't care about you.
Suno? I'm really gonna miss you. I'm sorry for stressing you out all the time. And for making you worry about me. And for not being able to take care of myself very well after Isuno died. And for not closing my eyes. I love you.
We're going to take good care of everything you left behind. I promise. Hey, here.
Huh?
Shut up. Just take it.
Did you make me new clothes?
Don't get all sentimental about it. I've been making them for a while. You dress like an idiot, and it's offensive to my eyes.
Wait, is that why you were drawing me?
You saw that?
When I investigated the dorms, yeah. I thought you just wanted to kill me.
What? No! I was just brainstorming!
These are so soft.
Yeah, well, that seemed like a priority for you. So...
You made these just for me?
God, stop looking at me like that! I just wanted you to have some nice clothes for once! Besides, you dress like you don't like yourself. This is so annoying. You should take better care of yourself and have more confidence in yourself. And I think now's a good time to give it to you, 'cause you need to be strong now. What with Suno being gone. What? Get off me! God!
Thank you.
Whatever. Just.
I can really just have these? I don't have to pay you or anything? I don't have a lot.
It's fine. Actually, now that you mention it, I'm charging you one thing.
Yeah?
Please, I am begging you. Let me cut your hair. It's messy and overgrown, and you don't take any care of it. Let me cut your hair. I promise it'll be good. I promise.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a good time for a change, actually.
Perfect! Come on!
What?
Come on. Let me show you my sketches.
Alright, let's do this one.
Ken? Ken? You home? Well, if you don't want to let me in, that's okay.
Wada Gets Adopted Part 3.
But I just wanted to check on you. I'm sorry that you lost somebody you care about. I lost somebody I care about too, so I get it, kind of. And I know that when you're in here, it can be scary to be alone, I mean. So, if you need someone to talk to about being alone or about Toshi or anything, I'm here, okay? You know where to find me. You can come hang out with Hama and I, if you just want to come hang out. You don't even have to talk, just if you need to be with people, we've got you. I'll leave you alone now. Good night, Ken.
Wow. That was like a fuck ton for that single chapter. Wow. Anyway, I guess I should say this, but since this stream got cut off, it would mean that I'll have to do, like, upload 2 videos, 2 chunks of the stream, I guess. Unless, no, that's usually what happens. Anyway, I'm not sure if I'll be streaming Thursday. I don't really have anything besides maybe some gaming stuff, but I don't know if I want to play anyway. Like I said earlier on my YouTube and Tumblr, that I'll be starting with Danganronpa Aftermath tomorrow, since that was recommended by someone on my Tumblr. So it would be the prologue, character introductions, and whatever else. The prologue isn't that long, so the stream might actually be a bit shorter tomorrow, maybe. But yeah. Kind of hoping I could start other fangans. Of course, I said before that I'm going to be doing chapter 4 as soon as the entirety of the chapters dropped. And someone in the chat said it's being dropped on Friday, so yeah. Anyway, I don't think I have anything else to say. I guess related to my fangin, there's still like the map preview I wanted to do. If I feel like it, I might post it tonight. If I feel like it. It's kind of late, so no, not really that late. Anyway, that's enough for tonight. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Okay? Goodbye.